All right, welcome back. We are almost done with creating your budget. We'll have some fun with these numbers once we learn how to format the spreadsheet, and once you can work your way through that. All right, when last we met, we created this formula. That was, and I'm looking up here, this is called the formula bar. It's marked with an f of x equals d5 divided by 12. And this is D5, which we're dividing by 12 because we want to figure out what our monthly income is. We also, instead of typing in each and every one of these numbers, we used our shortcuts here on the functions, and we summed. And it calculated the sum for us. It automatically said, okay, what is it you want to add up? And we added that group up. All right. Couple of things we want to talk about. Do you remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally? Well, PEMDAS is really important when we're working with formulas. Though none of the formulas we're going to do here is really you're going to need to use PEMDAS for, but in spreadsheets, parentheses come first, followed by order of operations, followed by exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Exponents, we would use a caret symbol, little caret, because there's no other way to list 2. And it's a little caret symbol, and I can't locate it on my keyboard right. Yes, there it is. Shift 6, 2. That would be 2 to the second power. So that's how we write exponents. Parentheses is right above the 9 and the 0, shift. Multiplication is a little asterisk above the 8. Division is our backslash where the question mark is. And addition is right next to your backspace. So is subtraction. So that's the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Just keep that in mind. All right, you may recall what's the first thing that we need when we calculate a formula in a spreadsheet to let it know. If you said equal signs, you would be correct. So we're trying to figure out what our taxes are going to be, and we're going to use a figure of 30%. In class, we will talk about what taxes are for, who pays taxes, and what they're, and how much people actually pay. But we're just going to use 30% as our point. And if we look, create a formula in cell B4 to calculate 30% of the monthly income. We're in step number 4. So our monthly income is C3, so we click on that or type in C3. And to determine the percentage, are we going to multiply or divide? Do you remember? We're going to multiply it by 0.30 for 30%. Hit enter. Should get 1,500. We're going to do the same thing. We're on step number 5, B5. We want to create a formula that will calculate 5%. And again, we're going to talk about this savings. Why are we savings before we spend any money, right? We're saving before we spend our money and figure out how much money we have left to spend at the end of the month. Again, I am going to calculate 5% of the monthly income. The monthly income is located in cell C3. I'm going to multiply that by 0.05. $250. In step 6, we're trying to figure out if I have $5,000 this month that I earn, and then $1,500 is taken out in taxes, and $250 I put aside for savings. How much do I really have left over to spend? So, a couple of ways we can calculate this. First, we need our equal symbol. Then we're going to say whatever's in cell C3 minus what's in cell B4 minus what's in cell B5. Hitting equals. So we have $3,250. Watch what happens if I change my income to $50,000. Notice how all the numbers changed. Watch again as I go back to $60,000. All those numbers change. If you haven't done so already, please pause and complete steps 4, 5, and 6. Welcome back. And one last thing we need to do, and of course you're going to share this with me, is go to create a formula to determine the surplus or shortage in cell C18. Well, we know we have the amount in C6. That's how much money we have to spend. Uh-oh. Our expenses, though, are greater. So let's create a formula. Equals C6, less C17. And there's that parentheses. Do you remember why we put a parentheses around the number? To note it should be a negative. That's right, if you got that. So we have a negative number. I'm going to highlight that in red, and I'll talk about that when we're in class, why negative numbers are also written in red sometimes. How much money do we need to make for this number to be positive? Is it 70,000? Why don't you take a moment and you figure it out and let me know, okay? And then when you're done, change your figure back to 60,000 and submit this to me. Excellent. Thank you, guys. You did a great job. I look forward to talking to you about your budgets.